In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, everybody, we are back. Now, before we get into our next awesome run, I just want to remind everybody that we are raising money for charity. So we are almost halfway there to our goal of $1,000. We're already at 425. Do exclamation point donate to go ahead and, you know what, help out. Every little bit definitely does help. Next up, we have Sasam with the Count Lucanor, and I am so sorry if I messed up any of those names, but good luck and have fun.
Alright, thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna jump into the game because we actually start time on like the first text prompt mash start, so we can just get into here. So I'm Sasam, and this is the Count Lucanor. It is an 8-bit game, as you can see, so it shouldn't be too scary for anyone, but there's some spooks, so I'll just start the countdown here. 3, 2, 1, go. So we are a kid named Hans here who, it's our birthday, and we don't have cake because we're poor, and we don't like that. We're poor because our dad disappeared, and we're like, I'm 10, I'm a grown-up, I'm gonna go find my dad, as all 10-year-olds do, and it's a horrible decision, as many 10-year-olds also tend to make. So this opening section is kind of just tutorial, and then there's a long walk, so while I have the time, I'd like to give a little shout out to the community. I am less of a speedrunner and more of someone who speedruns in that I learn a lot of speedruns and then don't tend to stick with them. I just really enjoy learning how games work. And this game has some really incredible tutorials. Like, of any game I've learned, it probably has the most well-documented and best tutorials for the glitches are in this game. Unfortunately, one of the cool ones, because I'm running this on Switch, I can't do. I've never been able to get it to work on the Switch version. It, like, crashes completely. So we don't get to see that. But if you want to learn this game, it's really short. It's really fun. It's super well documented. The runners are really chill. I haven't gotten to really talk to that many, but I don't know how to pronounce the name, but SCZER, who is the Any Percent World Record holder, gave me some tips on a glitch that we're gonna perform that I messed up and invalidated my first run because it carries over between saves and you have to completely like close out of the game. You can't just go back to main menu. Anyways, we're gonna start setting up for the first glitch because right now we're just kind of walking aimlessly, which is actually the plot, is we're walking aimlessly, but we're going to pick up these apples and we're going to equip one because we have to feed this starving donkey so that the donkey will survive and show up later. And this sets up for an item duplication glitch we're going to abuse later on. This game is actually pretty cool. You don't want to let the like 8-bit graphics turn you off. The puzzles are very much like old school 2D Zelda kind of puzzles where it's like find item, talk to this person, weird stuff happens. There's like alternate endings, there's all kinds of like neat lore stuff. It's actually really neat and pretty cool. So right here I'm going to equip the apple, yeah, and then we pass through this loading trigger, we re-equip the apple, and then we're going to load the autosave there, and now the apple is not equipped, but is also counted as equipped. So we have infinite apples now, which we're going to heavily abuse. There's a farmer here with his goats. I'm going to take some slow movement to show off these goats again in a second, because they're very fun. We come up here, we interact with this gravestone, which is maybe for our father, maybe not. Joseph Fry, and then this bird attacks us and knocks us out, and now we get into the scary part of the game. Ooh. The scary is how loud these cutscenes are. They're so much louder than the rest of the game, I'm not sure why, but So we wake up, we've got a candle. There's some cool stuff about candles and lights. There's like one really small cool tech piece here where we skip a dialogue box by just turning off the light. Hey look, the river's red. That's a good sign, right? So normally I'd want to walk past the goats here, but I want to show them off. Hey look, it's the farmer and the goats having a party. What a blast. That's not optimal movement, but I just love that scene, so I want to show it off. Don't put down your candle. By turning off the light and turning it back on, we skip Hans actually noticing the goats and be like, oh no, those goats are up to something. Like we do here, because the goats are now coming to eat us, and that's bad, so we don't want that to happen, so we're going to run away. One fun thing to note about the Switch version here is this part of the level just lags really hard, so I'm going to turn off my light to hopefully lag less, but based on our blue friend there, Petronio, he can cause a lot of lag, but we're actually not lagging, so we're fine. So sometimes that lag's really bad. Look, a deer with nice red eyes. I'm sure he's friendly. So after a little jaunt through the night here, where we didn't lag at all, which is pretty amazing for the Switch version, we're gonna keep following him. I run this game on the Switch version despite it being slower because I can't do a cutscene skip because it's the version I owned. If you want to get this game, it goes on sale pretty cheap. I think PC version was just on sale during the Steam sale for $2. I picked it up, but I didn't have time to really, like, test the cutscene skip to make it more worth it. And there's enemies at one point that can one-shot you. Okay, cool, we didn't soft lock there. There's a problem with soft locking during that text box, which I found the best way to have it not happen is to completely delete all your save information through like the data management section on the Switch before you do a run, so we shouldn't, well, we didn't soft lock, so it worked, thankfully. And this is the guy we saw earlier, the merchant who lost all his stuff. He's going to give us a blue key and show off his wares, which includes a gold key that we really want. And now we're going to start progressing through the day. These lit up sort of like lights above us are indicators of how much time has passed. And every time we go into a room, it progresses by 1 time. Also, I'm going to try to walk up at these statues and things to get a little speed boost. It's much easier on PC. It's a lot harder on Switch because of the way the controls work, but it's not too bad. And then we're going to talk to our friend here, Julia, who we're never going to see again, unfortunately, in this category, because I really like her design, and I want to know what's up with her, but learning what's up with her is slow, so we're just going to move on. She's treasure hunting. She gives us more candles, which is nice. The old lady with the pig we saw earlier that we passed by is now back. Her pig looks a little different. We're not gonna talk about it. She's a witch or something. She gives us the green key, so now we can go into rooms with green flags on them and continue to progress through the days. We're gonna go down to this room. Enter and again leave. We're not dealing with a puzzle. And because we saved him earlier by feeding him the donkeys here, and because we duped the apples, we will now feed the donkey apples, and he will poop gold for us. And we can repeat this over and over again because we have duped the apples, although we only have to do it 4 times. Because this gives us enough gold to buy the gold key. Sometimes it thinks you're looking at the donkey instead of the gold, so we do it 4 times. We've got our gold, donkeys well fed, and now we can go buy the gold key, but we're gonna take a little detour first. There's one more green room over here that we want to progress time with, and it'll hit a certain point in time that triggers a cutscene that'll load us right next to gold key, so it saves time anyways. So I'm going to come in here, switch to gold, leave, the cutscene starts. There'll now be enemies roaming the halls, but with the route we have, we're pretty much not going to see them. But yeah, so what we're doing here is Petronio's given us this quest to, like, if you can figure out his name, you become the next Count. Okay, yeah, I got the gold key. I thought I messed up and looked at the letter for a second. I was really worried there. We're good, though. We're good. So now we're gonna progress through some more rooms and talk to more people for more keys. There's some really neat sound design for the enemies here. When you get close to them, you can start hearing them whispering, and it's actually really creepy. Here's the farmer again. He's gonna give us the red key. She just is carrying around in his severed head. Goats are just here chilling as well. So we're gonna go, there's one red room we enter, which is just down here. You can hear one of the enemies whispering right now. I really love those whispers. I think they're so cool. This is the last blue room we're going to check on, and now we're going to go get Petronio's name, which I've been saying this whole time, so we kind of already know it, but Hans has to learn it. So we go up here. We're just going to sneak into Petronio's room, because that's what the gold key is for. Because we come in at the right time. Oh no, Petronio's changing. And singing a song, as demons tend to do. So we're gonna hide here and just wait while Petronio sings a song about his name and the variations of his name and what they would be if he was like from a different country and was named in that like language. And just like belts out that his name is Petronio, and we're like, oh cool, we know the name. We can become the Count now and get rich. Because 10-year-old logic. I'm sure nothing could go wrong. We'll be fine. So, I kind of want to show one of the enemies. It's right over here. Yeah, you can kind of see one coming. There's the enemies. They pull you towards them. They're neat. They're for like the limitations of the designs. I think they're pretty good at being creepy, especially with the audio. The audio helps so much for it. So yeah, so Petronio's like, cool, come just this way to become the new Count. It awaits you. And then he's like, haha, but watch your step. And then yeah, I don't know what we expected to happen, but here we are. Tricked and bamboozled again. Now we're in the dungeon. Apparently a lot of people fall for this trick. There's a lot of people down in here. Not a lot of live people, though. So, for whatever reason, the audio tends to break. I'm going to leave a candle there because we have to interact with the wall up ahead and we want to see it. I find the music breaks for me here sometimes. This is a soldier. It's the soldier named JF, who we found the tombstone of, who is totally not our father, but is probably our father. He tells us how we can get out of here. We need to get, like, this specific gold coin to open that gate up ahead. You can see there are 2 there already he's found. We just have to find the 3rd. And so these are the enemies that I'm running on Switch for marathon safety, because sometimes they one-shot you, but on Switch their AI seems broken and they barely ever move or attack. So it's kind of just safer to run on Switch. Also, we get bitten by a worm here. The worm wants to us, but we're like, no, eating us is bad, and they're like, fine. So we got a worm buddy now who's gonna hang out with us and talk to us, and this is the gold coin. The cane we got. Hello? Game? So this is a new soft lock I've never seen before. The game, it hasn't crashed because the flames are going, but none of my inputs are working. Not even the start menu. Wonderful. I've never seen this before. And with the ways...
That's that marathon-like.
Yeah, and with the way saves work, because we break them for the duplication glitch, there's no way to finish this underestimate now. We're back to nightfall if we do this again. like when it first turns night. So let me know if we're gonna do that, if we're gonna mercy kill this.
Yeah, you feel free to go ahead and start from where you can last
Okay.
start from.
Okay. Trying to think here. My worry is it's going to softlock there again, but we're gonna see. We'll find out. We were like a minute from the end of the game too, or like 2 minutes from the end. Like that was. I assume we're about 13 minutes in right now or something.
We're up about 13, 14 minutes. Which means, you know what? You're gonna catch right back up again.
Alright, so I actually, we're gonna have to do the duplication glitch again. Because I had to completely restart the game, so we didn't have that going anymore, so I don't believe would have let me dupe the gold again. So we're back here. It's the goats again. Well, I was gonna say this game's here for the horror and not the horrible, but after that I've got to start to reconsider, really. I specifically went with this version because I thought it was safer, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe the... Oh boy. Okay, so we're back at the night section again. We're not gonna deal with the goats. We're gonna run for it. I'm gonna have to save a lot of time in my next runs to make up for going over estimate here, but this is doable. It'll be fine. What else could go wrong, right? Pass the ducks. We're not gonna say hi to the goats again. We're just gonna avoid them. And skip our dialogue by keeping the light off there. So I'm not sure what to say about this part of the game that I haven't already said. It's like, oh no, we have to run from the goats again. So if you have anything to read or anything like that, now's probably a perfect time since we're just repeating gameplay.
Alright, sounds good. I did want to let everybody know what we are raising money for. So we're actually raising money for the Organization for Autism Research. It's a national nonprofit organization formed and led by relatives of children, teens, and adults with autism spectrum disorders. OR's mission is to apply research to the challenges of autism. OR does this by funding research related to the intervention and quality of life and providing evidence-based resources that helps individuals, families, and professionals in the autism community find answers to their immediate and urgent questions. You can go ahead and do !donate to go ahead and get that Tiltify link. Every little bit helps, and as I said before we started this run, we are so close to the halfway mark. Our goal is to raise $1,000, and you know what? I believe we can smash that goal. So definitely donate if you can. If not, no worries. Being here is a huge, huge support, and we appreciate everybody.
Okay, well we didn't softlock there again. If we softlocked at that point, it would definitely be over because I would have to completely delete all save data and then wouldn't really... We'd have to start from scratch, which would take another 15 minutes, and I think that's a bit too much over time. But this will still be, like, pretty rough. I'm just going to try to motor through as fast as I can and focus on going fast. But yeah, so I guess what I was saying earlier is this community is cool. It's super well documented. If you want to learn to run this, do it on the PC version, because Switch version is not helping me out today. You didn't get the boost there. I just got stuck. The PC version also has a cool cutscene skip where you, like, softlock Petronius into T-posing, which I'm so sad I couldn't show off. But I hadn't begun to figure out how to get to work on PC yet. And I was like, alright, Switch is safer. These enemies won't kill me in one shot. But then I just found a new softlock, so that's cool. marathons. I always have the best luck at them. Yeah, so I lied earlier when I said we wouldn't see her again in the speedrun, because we just did. So, apologies for that, I guess. We have to get the green key again. We get to feed the donkey more and watch him poop more, though. So that's fun. Yeah, I think Jason Vader is doing good end, or like submitting good end to marathons right now. So if you see a marathon with Jason Vader running good end, I'd recommend checking out, because it's really cool. They're the world record holder for that category. And I'm running out of ideas of what to talk about. All I have here is a donkey pooping gold, and I don't know if I want to stoop to poop jokes.
Well, you said that you are, and the term I tend to use is a variety speedrunner, where you tend to run a bunch of different games. Can we circle back on that? What other games do you run?
Okay, so I actually mostly run horror games. My main game has been Silent Hill Homecoming for a long time, but recently, because of load times and Xbox Series X coming out, I've been kind of priced out of competition in that game. So I had taken like a 2-year break from speedrunning because of work, and came back about a month and a half ago, and I was like, oh, it's just in time for October. How many horror games can I learn? And so I learned this, and then I learned 8 other horror games between halfway through September and now, and then I relearned 2 other games that had like route changes. So there's a lot. I've run Homecoming, Silent Hill Homecoming, Silent Hill 3. Those are the 2 I've run the most. Recently I've been playing Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I found and routed Netherworld Beyond Time I Stand, which is up next, and that game has some deep lore. It is definitely a game that exists. I can say that about it. It is not here for the horror part, though it's supposed to be a horror game. And then Glass Staircase I started running as well, which we'll also be doing. But yeah, I've just run like a ton of stuff over the years. I've been wanting to pick up like weird budget JRPGs, like the ones that are 2 hours long and are like actually beat 'em ups just with like pretending to be JRPGs and stuff like that, because I love those games. I think they're neat.
Those ones are a ton of fun.
I did learn one a few years ago that was like that. Oh, what was it called? Knights of Azir 2, which I only found out the other day. One of the scenario writers for that was actually the Fatal Frame creator, which was really weird to me, because Knights of Azir 2 is like lesbian vampire JRPG where you like it's just completely different from Fatal Frame. But it's really cool. It's by the Gus team, who does the Atelier games and like Blue Reflection, which is getting a sequel soon. So it's very on brand for them, and it's a very fun game. I actually love that game a lot, which is why I ran it very briefly. But that too, I'm also kind of priced out of competition because I have the Switch version. And the Switch version is the slowest, as it often is when it comes to long games with a lot of loads.
I have come to find that out with a lot of Switch games.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels kind of bad, because I want to buy the games on Switch so I can like play them in bed and like practice games in bed and stuff, and then it's like, oh, but I'm adding an hour to my runtime. That's a bad idea. Consoles these days, you just dump money into speedrunning if you want optimal times. Buy games 2 or 3 times. Alright, so we're back in the dungeon. We're actually kind of caught up to where we were. We're pretty close. And I hear audio this time, so that's a good sign, because I think my hunch is there's an audio trigger that's supposed to play to let me pick that up, and because the audio broke somehow, it didn't let me pick it up because the audio line didn't complete, so I was stuck. I think that might have been what happened. Because that's what happens with the other soft lock. It's like a sound before he like stops being surprised at Petronio the first time. So there's these enemies again. There's 2 of them. They're very big. They jump at you and on PC can one-shot you. And they move a lot on PC and are really scary, but on Switch they almost never move. There's also a lot of worms around here, besides just the one who bit me. If you walk on them, they hurt you because there's just more worms that want to eat. Just some hungry lads. Alright, so we actually got the emblem this time. We did not soft lock. I should pull up my candle so I can see where I'm going, though. These creatures, like, they make sheep noises. It's really cute, actually. Although they're not so cute themselves. So we use the coin here to unlock this door. And we don't actually have to go in it. Just unlocking it lets us trigger the dialogue with our totally not father soldier guy here who's missing both his legs. So he gives us a bean to get up here, but we gotta find some water for the bean first. And like when I said we were almost done, you're gonna see how close we were done to being this game. This bean quest, this is the last part of the game. Here's these lads. They're kind of stacked together. Oh, it actually charged me. Wow. Cool. That's maybe the 3rd time I've ever seen that on Switch. It didn't one-shot me, though, so that's like the power of running on Switch for Marathon versus running on PC, where that probably would have one-shot me. I don't think I can take another, though. Alright, but we got some blood from there. This is also our house, which is weird. And we're supposed to be having a moment, but the worm just starts begging us for, like, candy, which kind of ruins the moment. Like, worm, read the room. Come on. Also, yes, those monsters have, they got booties. So I'm gonna take, the wide way here to hopefully not get attacked again. Because I think I will die if I get hit again, and they're attacking, which they don't normally do. So we're gonna swap to the bean. We're gonna go up here and we're gonna plant the bean. And then we're gonna water the bean with the blood. And then nothing happens. So we're gonna leave. And then it happens. So when you would go up the beanstalk, you would reload the previous save, and it would mess up the next cutscene and let us skip all the dialogue in it. But whenever I do that on Switch, it just crashes the game, so we're just gonna not do that. Also, our totally not dad is dead. We hear our mom screaming, which is weird, and we like... Now the left is all lit up and super red, and there's this boss fight thing that's really scary, but we're just gonna ignore it and leave because that's slow. We don't need to deal with that. So yeah, if we were able to do the cutscene skip, Petronio would be T-posing here, which is fun, but unfortunately for the marathon I thought I took the safer option in version, but I was mistaken about that, so maybe next time I'll just try it anyways. And here's all the enemies that would wander around and kill us, but ta-da! We get to be the Count Lucanor, and time is when I sit on this chair. So this guy's who's pogging right now, the Count Lucanor, is like, "You're my son," and we're like, "No, you aren't." And it's like, "Yes, I am. You're the Count Lucanor now." And then we go sit, and that is time. Not a good time, but that's time. So we're the Count Lucanor now, but then there's like this thing where it's like, oh, actually, we're just being tricked. Like, Petronio's just doing magic stuff to make us think we're like rich and whatever, but it's part of a curse. The Count Lucanor is actually like not even a real person. The good end is you reveal that it's all fake and stuff, but yeah, that's any percent. Well, this is any percent. The good end finds out that the Count Lucanor is fake and everything, and you reveal that Petronio is tricking you and trying to like drag you into this curse of the Count Lucanor. But
no, that's what I was asking.
Oh, yeah.
That version's the good.
yeah,
end.
yeah,
Wow.
you get to go back and see your mom.
Oh, that's fair.
But yeah, it's like, oh, we forgot all about our mom, and we're just forever part of this curse. And that's the Count Lucanor. It's really fun, and when the game doesn't break on you, it's like a really relaxing, just like short, sweet game to run. I'd recommend checking out if you're looking for something just short and fun. And again, it goes on sale sometimes for like $2 on Steam, so you can get real cheap, which is always a bonus. I'm the only person with a Switch run on the leaderboard, so I'm gonna have to fix that sometime soon. Out of curiosity, what was the time after all that?
28 flat.
Ooh, alright, we're gonna have to make up time in the next runs. I'll do my
got
best.
this. But thank you so much. Thank you so
Alright.
much for that awesome run. Guys and girls and whatever that you may go by pronoun-wise, we are going to be right back with Sasam again, but this time with Netherworld Beyond Time.
Switch